note. Dang. Whew.
That's that Mariah note right there.
No kidding.
Hello, stream mates, and welcome to 2021.
2021, and I still don't have makeup on.
And Tati has been deep in the makeup. She had a tutorial and everything going a little while ago.
I got one eye. That's it. That's what. Look at that.
You got one eye done.
You know, it's like every good trio needs one person with one set of eye makeup on it, and that's it.
I agree.
We had left eye. We got Tati. So.
Good morning, Diana. And every once in a while, I may wear an eye patch, so you never know how I roll.
Okay, there's a new show on HGTV that I was watching last night. It's called Fixer to Fabulous, I believe it's called. And the construction guy, his name is Chansey. Eye patch, fine as
How can you do construction with an eye patch? That seems like such an OSHA
I don't
violation.
know. Got biceps for days.
All right, stand by, stream mates. We're going to go live on the air real quick, wrap up the 90s at 9.
Can't do it.
Mariah Carey. That's emotions.
I left my mic off so that I could do it without screeching.
I was going to ask you, how deep into your ear did you get to hit that note with Mariah? Because in order to hit that note, you got to close the eyes.
That's quite a karaoke.
Well,
you never miss an opportunity.
If you really want to get really deep, you got to use the pinky finger and then dig some wax out of there too.
I got it. All right.
Joking.
Of course.
Joking.
Why do you ask the question, Shelly? Stop.
Sorry, we just had the conversation of you can't listen to Mariah and not put a finger to the ear. Hit the note.
Don't put your nail in your ear.
And Christina Aguilera does that too. Tomorrow morning we'll do the 90s at 9. Same thing. So your favorite music from the 90s, and if you want to let us know what you like, 866-570-1941. Save that in your phone. You can call with your favorite 90s requests. Do you guys remember the Fab Five?
Yes.
From the 90s?
Yeah.
What is the Fab Five?
Fabulous Five. That was Fab Five Freddy. Oh, what?
Oh no.
I was thinking Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Oh my God. Neither of you knows them. So this takes you back to the 90s, and it's a big announcement this morning. The Fab Five are these 5 basketball players that were all freshmen and played for Michigan and the Wolverines. They were the first basketball players to wear long shorts and black socks. Changed fashion for all of sports and all this kind of stuff. Yes, producer Shelley?
You wanted us to get the sports question about college basketball from the 90s, right?
Well, I was just wondering if it was registering on the radar, because maybe it's a big 90s story for just me or everybody else.
Let's see.
But this, they did a 30 for 30 sports documentary about these guys at ESPN, and they're announcing this morning that they are going to do a whole series on one of the streaming services that's going to take a look. It was a really
kind of like The Last Dance was?
Yeah, it's just going to be like The Last Dance, but it's going to be a whole
I'm going to watch it. I mean, there's no denying I'm going to watch it, but I would have never gotten that Fab Five.
Okay, go home. Your husband, who is a basketball coach, just say, yo, looks like there's going to be a Fab Five documentary. See if he says Queer Eye. See if he says anything you guys said.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'll know that the Michigan team. Okay. Anyways, we're on our live stream right now. If you want to say hi to us for the first live stream of 2021, and I'm about to get in here and talk about something personal going on in my life that I'm not willing to share on the radio.
Yeah, you don't want to. And we all think you should, because it's great.
Well, we'll see how this goes when I share this and see how many people yell at me on live stream.
No
and maybe
one's
we'll
going to yell at you.
Go to jesseandtati.com. You can live stream with us right now.
No one's going to know. They're going to know. How are they going to know?
Oh, yes. Hi, friends.
Here, people are rolling in. Chris Jones is here. Chris Jones.
Hey,
when
Chris.
are you moving to Arizona?
Wow, you guys all wanted to hear my chisme. You guys want to hear my drama, my gossip. Some of you guys may not like me after this.
Not
careful.
Wait till they hear it. They're going to be like, that is what it was. It's good. Watch.
Okay.
I think because
What should I do? Hold on. You have a commercial coming up in 60 seconds. Should we wait till after your commercial? Let's wait till after your commercial. Yeah. All right. That's one of my favorite people. Hey, congratulations, Kimberly Ashford. Congratulations. I know. Actually, when I used to work in the tuxedo business, you were not supposed to say congratulations to a woman when she was newly engaged.
Why not?
And that is because that's like saying, woo! Congratulations, you hooked a man. Wow, that was a close one.
Really?
You're supposed to say, oh, you just got engaged? You must be so excited. It is faux pas to say, congratulations.
Really? Well, that's good to know.
Who said?
Gary from Gary's Tux Shop. He wrote the manual on how to sell a tuxedo, and that was the first line.
And
never congratulate a woman on her engagement. Here we go.
My good friends, Bada Fulkerson. Yes, they are personal injury attorneys, but if you look on their Instagram at Bada Fulkerson, they're the guys that are always spreading love, always out and about in the community, helping those less fortunate. And because it is a new year, we all have a chance to start fresh. And why not help yourself feel better, but also to be kind and spread love, right? Just like they do. It doesn't cost a penny, and it's also rewarding. So that's the message I want you to know. BadaFulkerson.com. That's BadaFulkerson.com. If ever you're in an accident, just so you know, they are the good guys that are going to have your back from beginning to end, and you can reach them 24/7 at BadaFulkerson.com.
All right. I tried to lip sync you, and in the process, I knocked over all this crap on the counter, and it just was a mess. Okay. Hey, Celtic Marie. Yep, still working on that. I will let you know if I need your friend. It looks like someone from ESCO is going to do that for me. Okay. So listen, I have something amazingly awesome that has just been completely taking over our lives for about a week at my house, and my wife's not getting any sleep at night, and it is something that we have been planning for and looking forward to for probably about 6 months. And go easy.
I love it, Tati. It's your big announcement, and Tati's putting her eyeliner on.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I know what
that's what she does. That's what she does.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. You've been waiting.
Tati, do not stop doing what you do.
I'm multitasking.
I want to show you guys something.
I'm serious right now.
Oh my God! Look at it.
So this is our new little puppy.
Can I bump that nose?
And her name is Grizzly.
She's so cute.
And there's my other Frenchie, Tyga, attempting. They won't touch yet. They're not touching yet. But
in there.
That's my announcement, is that we have a 2-month-old Frenchie that we just picked up from the breeder. And we're really excited about it. And we are complete dog people. And our Frenchie, Tyga, has changed our lives in that way in the past 3 years. It's like we can't even go on vacation right now because it's like I don't even really want to leave the house because I don't want Tyga to sit home by herself. Like, she is our world. And so somewhere along the line we realized, gosh, we need another one.
That's awesome.
And so we contacted the same breeder that we got Tyga from, and they connected us. And so we actually, this is little Grizzly, and she is actually our current dog Tyga's. She is her niece. Tyga's brother is her dad. So they're along the same genealogy.
I wish Tiger knew that that's her blood relation.
Yeah, that would make a difference probably.
You know what's so funny is we've been asking people if that's possible, and they said every person that we say that to, they're just dogs. They don't get it. They don't get that. I'm like,
they don't want to do a DNA ancestry.com kit.
Right. They don't care. Apparently they haven't. You know what I told Natalie the other day? I'm like, maybe Tyga doesn't even know what she looks like. So why would she just associate this dog as being the same thing as her? Tyga doesn't look in the mirror. I don't know.
There was a book from 2nd grade, and it was called The Cat That Thought It Was a Dog. And it was for that exact reason, that the cat had never seen itself before. So it thought it looked like a dog the whole time.
So here's what I want to say about the dog.
And is this going to be why you're not talking about her? Or why
here's what I want to say. When I was so blessed to bring Tyga 3 years ago into our lives, it was something that I can't even tell you how bad I personally needed, because I had a very bad experience growing up with a dog that tortured me till the day I moved out. And I was so glad when I moved out. I was so glad when my mom told me she put that dog to sleep. It was not positive. And so I always thought that I would never have a dog in my adult life. When I got Tyga, it was absolutely 10 times more amazing than I ever could have imagined. And even to this day, it's softened me up in such a great way that I love her so much. Anyways, when I first got that dog, there was a woman at work who I told, hey, I got a puppy. And she was like, oh, where'd you get the puppy? And I was like, there's this breeder who lives in Temecula. And we got in a pretty uncomfortable and heated argument about how I was supporting a breeder. And she was a big rescue dog person. And I mean, she cussed me out pretty much. And we were like, I remember like veins coming out of my neck. We were like yelling at each other.
Well, and it like had totally changed the dynamic of the relationship forever. Like you guys were tight and you guys have not been the same since.
100%. It's never been the same. And so I was so affected by that. And I realized at that point, like, wow, I try not to keep a lot of secrets from people, but I can never tell anyone how I got Tyga. Apparently, if you get a dog from a breeder, you are opening yourself up to get canceled. It's this world now where if you're not doing everything the right way, you're in big trouble. And that's really how I felt about Tyga. And so getting this puppy, Natalie, we get the puppy, and Natalie's like, after like we've had this puppy at our house for 2 days, and my wife's like, are you not on social media just because you're taking a break because of vacation, or are you intentionally not trying to post Grizzly, the new puppy? And I said, I am not going to post a puppy in my house again because I don't want people to give me shit about it. I don't want to sit and read email after email about how important it is to rescue dogs. You don't think I know that? I know that. I'm completely understanding the rescue function and why that's important for society, whether that's dogs, cats. Diana, love you, girl. But the bottom line is it's not how I did it. And I do sadly feel like social media is now exposing people like me who have a small amount of notoriety in San Diego. I do that. I feel like I'm exposing myself to getting canceled or pissing people off or having to hear from emails, or maybe I go to an event somewhere and someone wants to pick at me because I support breeders or whatever it is. And to be honest with you, I don't care that much about my social media and everyone seeing my life at this point to deal with that kind of crap. And that sucks. So
this was way more serious than I thought it was going to be.
What's
Yeah,
up, right?
really actually like.
So that's my spiel right there. That's my spiel.
Okay.
So that's why I won't bring it up on the actual radio, because I'm not, we have way more listeners than we have stream mates, and I'm not trying to deal with that.
Okay, I can't even see the stream mates comments. So I'm going to make a comment, and then are there comments coming?
There is one. Chris's is great. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, getting a puppy from a reputable breeder is fine, but not, yeah.
And then, okay, so I have a question about that. Not a personal choice whether we adopt or take from breeders. Okay. See? Okay. So this is the dog issue is real. I bet. Here's what I told Jesse earlier. Okay. And what I told Jesse earlier is everyone's allowed to feel how they feel. And your coworker who said how she felt about rescuing a dog and you buying a breeder dog, that's great. Everyone's allowed to feel how they feel and have their strong convictions and they're passionate about things. The problem is the reason why your relationship with her cannot be repaired, and it's a weird thing, is because sometimes people don't speak from I. They want to say, well, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that and you're doing this wrong and you're doing that, when really what you should say is, I feel very passionately about dog breeding and why I don't support it, and this is why I don't. And then she could have said all of the things that are negative about dog breeding, and then she could have said her piece and say, this is why I don't like it, this is why I love rescuing a dog, because this is all the things that are great about rescuing a dog. Then it would have just been her and her personal preference to dogs and all that. But because it was like, well, you're a terrible person, you know that dog breeding is bad and you still want to buy from a dog breeder, that's where you like mess that whole thing up. Now, knowing, and here's the thing, I just found out like a little tidbit about dog breeding yesterday, and I was like, oh, well, anybody who's against it has every right to feel that way then, because it sounds, what I heard sound terrible. I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. But at the same time, I'm not going to bring a dog that I don't like and I don't know. Like, I want a dog, if I want a dog from a puppy age and not a dog that's already like halfway through its life that my kids are going to end up burying in 3 years, that's my prerogative. It's my home. I'm going to care and feed for this dog. You got to do what's for you and your family. Do you know what I mean? Take into consideration, there might be some dog breeders that are doing terrible things in order to create these puppies, and say, you know what? I understand that's messed up. I, for one, know my breeder. They're reputable. They don't do all these terrible. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but you have to be sold enough not to be swayed to feel bad, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. It's
a decision you made. You made it. You know, it's like,
I guess sometimes it feels like when you own a decision that you still feel guilty about, it makes you feel like, well, then is that the wrong decision if I feel like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's the best thing. These dogs are like, I mean, you should see our life right now. I get off work, I go and lay on my living room floor. I laid on the living room floor for probably 5.5 hours and didn't do anything because I got to watch the puppy and Tyga. And let me tell you, it's not a drag. It's fine. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fine, you know? But that's the thing is like, is that in my head because I know it's wrong and maybe I'm more of I mean, I don't know. I hate getting in my head, but more importantly, I hate getting in my head as it applies to how are other people going to react to me and how much crap am I going to have to deal with?
But
That's what I think gets in my way.
I think you have to live your life for everyone. You're never going to live your life.
Yeah.
And you cross paths with somebody who's super passionate about it. But like, as you can see what's going on here with all of our stream mates, that everybody's like, you got to do what's best for you and what's best for your family. And maybe you are the family. Because I have a friend who her last dog was a rescue dog. And then they just recently got a Labradoodle, which she's like, yeah, I got a designer dog, but I'm a rescue, you know. And she was struggling with it. She's like, but this is the dog that's best for my family. And who's to say that their next pup won't come from a rescue? Fortunately, shelters are thriving right now. They can't keep puppies in the door anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's real?
Oh, completely. There's articles all the time. I saw one the other day about there was all the people who worked in the shelters, all the volunteers in some city, I can't recall where it was, and they're all standing outside like, yeah, because there wasn't a single dog in the shelter. So right now, you know those pups are going to good homes because people are bringing those rescue pups in. And I think I was just going to say, somebody said, why aren't you attacking the people who surrendered the dogs to the shelters? How many videos do we see on Dodo of dogs who are just the Dodo, which I'm obsessed with because it's always a feel-good story, of dogs who are just left on the side of the road?
Abandoned.
Why does it? Yeah, abandoned. Why don't people go for them? You are bringing a puppy into a safe environment from a reputable breeder.
And look, let me tell you how the breeder experience is, because to be honest with you, I don't know what a reputable breeder is either. What does that mean? Who is that person?
So here's the thing, Jesse. Maybe that's the thing too, though, is you do need to educate yourself on what exactly is the way that girl educated herself, and that's why she was so passionate. It's because she knew so much. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes that's all it takes is knowing more about what's happening for you to now make the next move. And you shouldn't feel guilty. You already made the decision. It's done. You made the decision, but maybe you should research why is it that she felt that way, and you might be able to understand her stance and still live freely in your decision.
Yeah, and my thing with the breeder is like this guy was so he was very communicative with us the moment she was born, almost every day leading up to when we got her. And what I noticed when we left, when we went to his house and picked her up, I walked out. We walked out of the car, and he stayed on his porch and watched us walk to the car, put her in the car the first time. I actually held her on my chest. I sat shotgun, held her on my chest for that ride, that first drive home or whatever. And this guy was like making sure he was like, here's my phone number, because you're gonna have some questions about this or that. But he stood on his porch and he watched us drive away, and I realized he was disconnecting himself from maybe a slight attachment he had to the puppy. And that's when I thought, I like that guy. I don't know if he's a reputable breeder. I know he's a great family guy. His entire family has been breeding dogs their entire life. He was telling me his grandpa does this kind of dog. His dad's been doing this dog. It's their whole lives they've been breeding. And to me, it seemed like even though this puppy was only 2 months old and he had 4 other ones in the house and he had 3 dogs already that were his own, I still felt like this guy cared. I got this sense that he was also having a moment too with the puppy leaving. And that's when I was like, oh, so these breeder people aren't just heartless people. This guy's like a little bit sad about, the dog leaving. Look, I don't know if he's a reputable breeder. I don't know if he's good, but just that in general to me showed a side of humanness that I don't know what to sift through. I don't know what that means, but he cares. He was, and I don't know. I know that doesn't matter, but it's all in my head, and I'm noticing everything, I suppose, especially when it comes to the way he handled it and the way I didn't feel like I was like showing up to a puppy mill and the conveyor belt was coming out and he was letting my puppy fall into a basket and I get to drive off with it. It felt like it was part of his home and his family,
Go ahead, Tati.
Heather is the friend that Heather is the friend that I was talking to yesterday at the park. So if you read what she says, you want the right fit for your family. And I completely agree with that. Every time I see Heather's dog, I'm like, this is the kind of dog I would want, you know, because I can't do fur. I'm actually allergic to cats, their dander and their saliva. I don't know. I might be allergic to dogs. So I don't know. So you want to find the best fit possible. So you shouldn't feel like I have to get a rescue dog because someone else. So you know what I mean? Like you have to do what's good for you and your family.
Well,
and look, yeah.
I think that the person that originally that you had spoken to that we're talking about that like kind of ruined I think she just ruined the original experience for you. You weren't a dog person. You had bad dog experiences your whole life. So here you were excited about something and you're letting her take that excitement away from you. And now it's rolled over into Grizzly too. And from Tyga to Grizzly. And
yeah,
so
you gotta let that go.
Yeah, because everybody else is super excited. I mean, and everybody, you know, they know that, like you said, those dogs are pack like dogs, and you're just helping add to Tyga's pack. Like you're doing her a service in that way too.
That was the other thing.
I realized a year ago that it might be time to get Tyga another dog so Tyga can be a dog and not just around humans all the time. So you are looking out for Tyga.
Yeah, I mean that has a lot to do with it. We would go out of town for a quick 1 or 2 night thing to get out of town or go to Palm Springs, and we would choose not to take her, and then I would spend half of the time out of town watching the camera, watching Tyga be lonely. And so I'm in Palm Springs, like, oh my God, like she is so lonely just sitting there on the couch. Oh my God, like I was still just starting to ruin my trips because of it. So yes, I mean a lot of it had to do with her. Hey, Shell, do you want to recycle for our Lonely Parents Club here? Do you want to do that coming up? Sorry.
No worries.
I think I can still rock this.
Yeah, I think Jesse, have had both dogs from breeders and dogs from rescues. Feel no guilt. People are always going to have something negative to say. That doggy is going to have all the love and everything else he needs from you. I agree. And I don't want to butcher her name, but I'm going to say Chapante.
That's Lene. Let's make it easy. Lene, why are you trying to look so regal with that first name? It's Lene. We all know you as Lene. Thank you, Lene. Love you.
But yeah, like I said, the person who told you how she felt, her feelings are valid and her points are valid. It's just She should have said I instead of saying you were doing something wrong. She should have just stated her case. And I think a lot of times when people say what they're passionate about, I do it all the time. I was joking to Jesse. I was like, I am such a passionate person and I'm like so opinionated that I rub people all the wrong way and I make them feel some type of way. But I have to remember that I'm not trying to make anyone feel some type of way. I'm stating how I feel. And that's what I always have to be conscious of when I express myself, is that I'm saying I feel this way rather than you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. And the other thing that I'm conscious of is asking questions. So instead of, saying you're terrible for this, that, and the third, I would ask questions like, okay, Jesse, well, do you know what a reputable breeder is like? Or do you know, like, and that way you get the person to just think of, maybe I should do some research or maybe I should figure this out. That way you can make a decision guilt-free, and just hearing your story about how that breeder wanted to see you and see the dog off. I know people who bought from breeder and they've mailed, like they've shipped you're not going to pick it up. Like, it's like, it doesn't sound legit. It sounds like they don't care who they're selling to. And I would like to know that the breeder cares who they're also giving the dog to, that was a big part. Mutual, like, who's this dog going to? Are they gonna love this dog? Is their family equipped to take the time to be with this dog? You know what I mean? Like, a breeder is just selling dogs. I wouldn't want to just buy a dog to a breeder that doesn't ask me enough questions.
Yeah, I mean that's why I hope who I went with is a reputable breeder because it felt like that. All those things you're saying, we went and visited the dog when it was like a little worm weasel, and he allowed us to. He set up a time for us. He was constantly updating us. The minute he went and got our shots, he hit us up about that. I mean, there really has been a sense of like, I feel like he was vetting us out as much. He was so excited when he found out that we had Tyga, which was, this puppy's basically her auntie. He was really excited to find that out because he realized that their temperaments would be very similar. So yeah. All right. Well, that's my
I
news.
didn't tune out. I'm just doing my eyeliner while I'm listening to you.
No, all
I didn't
good.
tune out.
There's a lot of great comments on here. We should get through some of these. Our dog is from breeder 2. I'm okay with it. We adore our dog to the moon, and she brings so much joy to our house. The kids express their gratitude for having her in our lives. Yeah. See, this is that's written exactly how my how I'm feeling. Basically, is the joy. Look. My daughter Savannah is an incredible gift that, that I feel like I got when I was 22 years old. And it's just been an incredible journey being her father and watching her grow. But there was a couple years there where, and anyone who has a teenager knows this, there is a softness missing from your home, big time. And I didn't
Heather said the same thing yesterday. There was something.
Who did, Marvin? Yeah.
Heather.
So I didn't get a puppy to cure that. I got a puppy and then realized it cured that. Like we got Tyga, 3 years ago, and she came in our home, and this is when Savannah was really, being a teenager, and it changed her. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't realize that bringing something so fun and amazing into the home would change the dynamic like it has. And it really makes a difference. Is that what Marvin is saying about the crib right now? Because
no, that's what Heather was saying. Heather was saying that she had 2 dogs, when her and her husband got together, and then unfortunately both dogs passed and within a year of each other. And there was that energy. She was like, there was an energy that was missing in the home, and she felt it. And she said, dogs bring this energy. It's just like this loving, like they fill the room with like this energy. She said that she felt it. And so she was like, let me, maybe we'll try again and we'll get another one. And they had never had a dog from puppy and up with their children. Their children were old dogs.
So they wanted, right. They wanted to give that a shot. Hold on a second. Yeah. That's no doubt on Star 94.1. Jesse and Tati in the morning. Join our live stream, which is happening right now. I just told everybody what's going on in my personal life that I don't want to talk about on air. I feel better.
Okay,
I would say I definitely didn't think everyone's going to react like that. So I think, I don't know, if possibly let's bring this up on the radio maybe tomorrow. Talk about it.
I'm the first person to quiz you and get you all hot and sweaty. And I didn't when you told me about this dog. So I was like, you should feel okay about this.
I agree. So, all right, we'll talk more about what's going on with that. Or you can join us right now on the live stream and keep the convo going. Just go to jesseandtati.com. The Lonely Parents Club. Every Wednesday, we find out the very honest things that our kids have been saying to us. We'll take your calls. You'll hear it all next on Star 94.1. Macklemore, Kesha.
By the way, I didn't go into detail on the air. I didn't go to detail on the air, but because I know how just now you were like, wait, we're not doing it on the air, Tati.
Tease. Yeah.
Yeah, but the blog, I'm going to have the blog with you being the doggy whisperer anyway, and it's the picture of you and Tiger. So.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. I do want to say too, and it brings it back to sometimes your theme, Tati, about the personal experience thing. I don't think I've ever shared this story before. When I was a kid, I was maybe in kindergarten. Maybe not, maybe. But I remember that my mom decided it was time to get a dog, and we went on the one ads, or what did they call it? The one ads in the newspaper, where people would put stuff up for sale or stuff before there was Craigslist. What did they call the classified? The classified. That's what it was. So she goes on the classified, and it read Ramona free Basset Hound. And Basset Hounds, and the theme of the dogs that I like too, they're dogs that I can just grab their face and we can smash our faces together and kiss and snuggle. I love those kind of dogs that are like a cozy blanket dog. And so Basset Hounds are like these big old lug of cozy dogs with the big floppy ears, and they're so sweet. So we drive out to Ramona. We get this dog. It was free. They told us the dog was like 7 years old. And we bring the dog home. It's just the most amazing new best buddy. She immediately loved me. She was so sweet. Her name was Holly. And we take her to the vet, and the vet tells us that the dog is no younger than 15. And we were like, whoa.
You thought it was half the age. You thought it was 7.
Fast forward 2 months, she's gone. She passed. And
why would that family give away their poor? Oh my God!
Right. So in a weird way, I think that experience for me was really weird when it comes to how you get a dog. You know, like so when I look at rescuing a dog now, I think I kind of feel, you know, like you say, like because of my personal experience, like, okay, I could do that, but then I could end up in another situation like I had with Holly, our Basset Hound, who was 7 years older than we were told and immediately died and broke my heart. You know, like I wonder if there's a little bit of that behind the way I think about it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I think when you think rescue, you think, well, how long more does this doggy have? How much, you know, how much damage was put upon this poor creature that how long more do they have with your family? And you grow so attached. I've never buried a pet. Like, I don't know that, you know what I mean? Or like had a pet die on me. And I can't imagine, like, I think that's why I'm anti, which is weird because I have birds and a dog, but they're never really mine.
Oh, because that's like you digging your heels in and really like, dude, I see that. I get it.
Trauma, man. I mean, that's like, it's one of those things where I want to avoid that kind of trauma in my life where it's like you get so attached. And I've never thought of myself as a dog person or a cat person. So I know that every time I say I'm not something, I am. And I'm going to eat my words. I'm going to buy a dog and be so in love with it. It's going to sleep in my bed. I'm going to be like, everything I said I didn't want, it would happen, you know, like, and I'd be crushed.
I get it. I mean, I get it. Hold on. Let me see if I can, there's a really sweet, oh, I guess not.
Shelly, was your cat a kitten when you got your cat?
No, my cat I was going to just foster her because her owner had suddenly passed. And when they found her, the brother of the woman who had passed away, they found her like 5 days later. So Penny was like really traumatized, and they found her like back up in the back of the couch. Like they couldn't find her as they were moving the furniture out. And then they went to move the couch and they heard her. So they cut open the back of the couch and there was Penny in there, completely freaked out because she had lost her owner. And just before that too, the woman lived near the fires that had happened in Bonsall in a trailer park. Mm-hmm. So she had like experienced a ton of trauma, and she was barely 2. She was a kitten when she was when the woman got her. So when I received her, the guy couldn't handle her. He had 3 dogs, 2 cats of his own, plus taking in Penny, and there was a dog in Penny's house. And he was like, I can't get her to calm down. She's not eating. I don't know what to do. We just don't have the space for her. And that's when my friend was like, hey, 2 glasses of wine later, what do you think about getting a cat? And I was like, this is the situation, and told me about how she was traumatized and they were just going to take her to a shelter. And I was like, no, she is not going to do well if that's the case. Like, I'll take her. I'll calm her down. Wow. Now her favorite toy is the dollar store Christmas tree skirt that I got. Mm-hmm. Like, that is like the only Christmas decoration that won't be put away because she wraps herself up in it. Like, so she's my little spazoid. I call her my Cooper Scooper. So
the way you did your hand, she wraps herself up in it. That's what I do with my family. I'm like, come over here, love me, wrap me.
I can only imagine Shelly's cat like being like Shelly. Like when you guys are just hanging out together on the couch watching TV, I feel like she's like just as annoyed by the things you're watching as you are, and you guys like clink a glass of wine to it every once in a while.
She's so annoyed with me. Like, she'll just sit there. Like, she fell asleep because she was just staring at me like, and I was looking at
me with a stink eye face on.
Even in her sleep, she was judging me, just like. So
that's how I fall asleep. I give everybody a stink eye.
I think I took a picture of it and I posted it. It was so funny. I was like, even in her sleep, this bitch judges me.
Oh, Penny and I. No.
Oh, the stories of Penny and I. Yeah.
How do I make this an MP4? Yeah. I wanted to share one last video of her.
Look at her face. Oh my god.
She's looking at me like, you dumb bitch.
I feel like
I can't say that I knew that Penny was so young when you got her.
She was 2, yeah. So I've had her a year and a half. Almost 2. Oh my god, I've had her almost 2 years.
Dang. So much has happened. So much.
Well, I've got a bearded dragon, I've got 2 birds, and I've got a dog that's not mine. So it's really nice because I never have to pick up his poop. You
need an animal that will love you. I feel like you are surrounded by animals that won't really like come up and give you love, right?
my friend's dog right now, I'm at her house. They're coming back today, but her dog Zoe, oh my God, it's a big mastiff. Her head's like this big. And it's like, I'm always like giving her kisses and she just loves, she's the sweetest, biggest dog ever. But that's the loving dog. Like if ever I need some loving, that dog
will give it to you. Isn't that the best?
She's right. The only thing that Zoe worries me and she makes me feel self-conscious is when I get in the door, she gets free ass out of me. Like she sticks her big nose right up in my and she always does it from behind. Like she comes up behind and puts her nose right.
Do you hear it?
She buries her nose in it, and I'm thinking, please tell me what you smell because you're so into it right now.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to know, man. Maybe they love your breath. Sometimes when I drink beer and my dog is like Tiger's in my face, it's like I'm like, are you smelling my beer breath right now? Like, are you appreciating it or are you like judging me? Like, what's the deal? Do you hate it?
Well, Zoe must love it because she be trying to be there for a little too long. I'm like, girl.
She overstays her welcome.
I'm like, Marvin, someone's trying to move it.
We have to acknowledge Thor for the first inappropriate joke of 2021. Thank you, Thor. Love you, buddy.
Nickname.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think it's a good place to wrap it. We had almost 80 people on the stream today, friends. Thank you for checking in with us.
Happy 2021.
We'll be back on Friday, okay? We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.